earnings per share, $1.37 versus $1.21 expected. That's non-GAAP. Revenue at $33.7 billion versus 32.77 expected. The unit that outperformed the most seems to be, at least on a dollar basis, intelligent cloud. That's Azure, coming in at $11.4 billion versus $11.03 expected. Gross margin came in at 69% versus 67.1 expected, and Microsoft says the percentage increase was because of outperformance in more personal computing. That's Windows and Xbox, other things like that, and also productivity and business process. That includes Office, LinkedIn, other units like that. And the gross margin included a 6 percentage point improvement in commercial cloud. That's primarily Azure, guys.
John, thanks very much for that. And bring us any more headlines when you've got them. Let's bring in John Freeman, analyst at CFRA Research, to help break down the numbers. John, what's your take on this? I mean, clearly it's a nice beat, particularly on the bottom line. And on the revenue line, Azure looks pretty strong, which I know the market focuses on.
Yeah, that looks like a pretty solid beat. I haven't gone through all of the numbers, obviously, yet, but the gross margin number in particular, expected 67, it's up to 69%. That's really healthy. That means that the cloud business, all of the cloud businesses, all of the businesses that Microsoft provisions from a data center, which is not only Azure and Office 365, but Xbox Live and LinkedIn, all of those are starting to enjoy the operating leverage that's inherent in a cloud-based business where you have that fixed cost, at a data center. And there was always a question whether that was actually, truly going to be realized as it ramps. But I think this is strong evidence that is the case, and so that's a real positive, along with the the revenue and EPS beat.
John, you think that Satya Nadella really gets a lot of credit for what's been going on at Microsoft, and this continues with this quarter, it seems.
Yes, no, absolutely. It's not only the strategic vision, but the operational execution on that vision at Microsoft has been particularly impressive. I've followed the company for a couple of decades now, and they are really firing on all cylinders like I haven't seen them since the early mid-90s.
Jason, what were you expecting for gross margin?
We were expecting a little bit better. We were expecting a little bit better, yeah. So we were expecting a little better than the street consensus. Like was mentioned, it was 67 and some change. 69 seems about right. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that we pegged that in our model because that's just not true. But what we did expect is for them to come in a little bit better than the street, just given the operating leverage that one of your other guests mentioned that we're going to see now in cloud as this continues to scale up. So not something that's terribly surprising and something that we celebrate as investors.
Jason, are they still behind AWS in terms of profitability with the cloud, though?
Yeah, they seem to be, and I think that's part and parcel of the fact that they're behind AWS in terms of market share, in terms of the customer base, in terms of, they're second to market. They're the number 2 established player in terms of revenue and market share. And as they continue to scale this up and get more wins, which we expect them to do, I think we'll see that profit margin continue to grow and look a little bit better in the coming quarters. But it's still impressive nonetheless. Both Amazon and Microsoft look really good in cloud right now.
Oliver, the commercial cloud revenue up 39% year over year. And just today, President Trump said, look, he's going to take a look at what's going on with this Pentagon contract for this cloud computing. I know Amazon is a front runner, but any chance that Microsoft gets this, and what could it mean for their business?
Well, there is a chance. Okay. To us, Microsoft is executing on all cylinders. Nadella has done a great job. Their move to open source has been absolutely brilliant and well executed. And thematically speaking, they're doing exactly what investors should be focused on, which is taking market share away from competitors, focusing on areas that they excel at, and improving margins. And we saw all of those things in today's report. And so, I think that trend continues because they are beating. And the other thing that President Trump said, he's going to look at Google. So again, there's pressure on the competitors, and that benefits Microsoft. And so we're continue to be very bullish, and we're long-term investors. We're not trading this stock. But thematically, it's just a beautiful story right now.